You may have seen this on your feed where this couple's at an airport and they're running really close to needing to board the plane. The plane's doors are going to close. They need to get into the plane so that they can go. And so they're calling for everybody to come to the gate, get into the thing that they're about to close, taxi down the runway. And so the wife is like, you know what? You go. I'm going to get some coffee and I'll catch up with you. Well, they're calling and calling and calling. So he's like, he goes into the plane. They shut the door. You know who's still standing in line to get coffee? Yeah. His wife.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And she thought for sure he wouldn't leave without her. You just know it. He went in. So this had happened to their family before.
What?
They were going to fly off and see their daughter.
Home Alone?
Right. And they missed the flight because she did virtually the same thing. She was running so late. So they missed the flight, didn't get to hang out with the daughter. And he was not having it. He was like, nope, we're done. And so you go get your coffee. I'm going in this plane. And he flew away and saw the daughter on his own.
No.
I bet she still don't talk to him.
The wife?
But it was her fault. It was her fault.
She needs coffee. Listen, you got to have some coffee. That coffee on the airplane? Ugh.
Well, yeah.
It's not good.
But, manage your time a little better, ma'am.
Really? Well, talk to Scott.
Oh, no.
Yeah. What happened, Scott?
So we had a little airport incident. My wife and I, we were dating long distance. She was in Raleigh. I was in Chattanooga. I flew into Raleigh for our first, date or whatever. Land at the airport on time, mind you. And I sit and I start waiting.
For her to come and get you.
For her to come and get me. And she's not showing up. And I'm thinking, oh, man, she's changed her mind. And I really start thinking about, I need to book a flight home. She showed up, though, later and told me, she got caught at work, caught in traffic, but she apologized. But she does not like me sharing that story.
Oh.
So let me go ahead and share it with you.
Marcy said, when my daughter's robotics team made it to the championships, I flew out to Texas to meet them. Landed at the airport. My husband was supposed to pick me up there. So she called him. She said, where are you? He said, I'm at the airport. Wrong airport.
Whoops.
He was about 45 minutes late getting to her, but
well, at least it's close enough.
At least it was, and
45 minutes is not too bad.
That was a mistake, not being disrespectful of your time.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so here is Bill at 800-447-7234. What happened, Bill?
I win Bad Parent of the Year. My son was 8 years old. He was hopping in the shower. I said, hey, I'm going to run over, and Dad's going to grab a movie and some popcorn at the grocery store right around the corner. I'll be right back. And surprising, not a surprise actually, that an 8-year-old didn't understand that. So I come back literally like 10 minutes later, and the police are at my house, and my son had come out of the shower and apparently did not understand what I said. And so I was there with my movie, my popcorn, and the police.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
It's happening this weekend where we spring forward. That's an extra hour of sleep, right? Or is that lost?
No, that's losing.
Oh, that's right, because you're going an hour ahead.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You're welcome. Enjoy. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio.
Okay, but it's worth it because we get that extra hour of daylight. Like, I think it was last night was the last time until November the sun is going to set before 6:30. Something like that, right? So excited about it. But next week is going to be rough. Once we lose that hour of sleep, it's really hard for the next couple of days to get up, to function, even though it's just an hour. So there's some things we could do. Go to bed early. Really? That
Great
seems...
bit of advice.
Yeah. So just know, before you go to bed on Saturday, change the clocks forward 1 hour, and that way you're on time for church or wherever you're going.
Who has to do that anymore?
Why?
It's automatic.
Well, I'm saying, it is. I'm thinking about my husband's alarm clock. That is the worst thing.
The only thing
ever
you got to
invented.
think about.
Oh, okay.
Your phone goes forward.
It
your
does
watch
go
goes forward. If you have a smartwatch,
even
everything already does it.
Well, even when you're traveling, it'll change time zones.
Yeah.
I forget about that. So, go to bed early. They say to start now.
Go to bed now?
Yeah, 15 to 20 minutes early.
Oh, come on.
So, to get yourself ready. I'm like, it does not
What world are these
matter.
people living in?
I know.
You know how busy it is?
Right? So I don't know. I mean, there's things you can do, but I don't know if they really. I might try it just to see if it helps.
Good luck with that.
Because when we lose that hour of sleep, I want to punch. Yvonne said, look, I still have an analog clock and a couple of digital clocks that I'm going to have to change, including on the radio, the car, the microwave. So those she's going to have to adjust this weekend.
Yeah, I do. I have to do that with my coffee machine.
Oh, okay. My
Yeah.
coffee machine doesn't have a timer, but the microwave, the oven, the car's the worst. I don't know why it's so hard in the car. Not hard. It's just labor intensive.
Okay.
Because I can never
The
remember where
first-
everything is.
The first thing is don't be driving and trying to change that thing. It
No.
won't let you.
Oh, right. I mean, it won't let you do anything when you're driving just about, except drive, which is good. So Carol said she also has a couple of analog clocks at her house, so she's going to have to do this. I was thinking about my husband's alarm clock that he used to have. He don't even have it anymore, but we always had to change it.
Well, the good thing is when it comes to the TV or the phone or the computer, anything.
The watch,
The-
the Apple Watch.
Yeah, the smartwatches, they all advance anyway on their own. So
They used to not, though,
Really?
I think.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Here's an open mic that just came in.
Good morning, Rob and Lizz and Scott. I just want to say you still have to change the clock on the oven and the microwave and other appliances unless you have smart appliances that are connected to the interwebs. Hope y'all have a good morning.
Yeah, you too. And she's right. I mean, you do have, if you have a throwback alarm clock,
Yeah.
I do. That's by my bed. And then the mic, and then I've got a coffee machine. I've got to set
There's
the time
a couple
back on.
different things.
Yeah, but as far as the smartwatches and stuff and my
Yeah.
phones, no.
Well, Angel texted, and she said, I leave my stove clock on the old time so that in the morning I can compare it to my cell phone and my watch and make sure that they did the update, which is not, a bad thing to do. She said, I don't know why I'm so worried that one day it won't work, that it won't actually do the update.
Well, Facebook yesterday. That's all you got to
Right.
say, huh?
Exactly. All right. And then somebody texted and said, look, I'm not worried about, moving the clock forward this weekend because I never lose sleep. I always plan for 10 hours of sleep regardless of the change of times. I'm sorry, but I'm totes
How?
jelly on this. Said, I set the alarm and I usually wake up an hour or two before the alarm goes off, but I make sure to get my 8 or 9 hours of sleep always.
You are one blessed individual. I can't. I wish I could, but I can't.
I'd have to go to sleep now. Wow.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
No horses on the highway. Please. Not like on I-90 in Cleveland last week, where there were horses on the highway. Nobody was hurt. It did cause a traffic jam for quite some time. Beautiful horses, too, because they belonged, or they do belong, to the police department. Their mounted division in Cleveland. And they were doing some exercise that was close to the highway. The horses wandered off, and the police had to go and get their horses.
Never been to Cleveland. Why in the world do they have horses as part of the police division? It's just odd to me. Cleveland, in my head, huge, huge city. Do they take them down the interstate normally?
Oh, of course.
It just doesn't make sense.
I think for the most part, it's for, what am I thinking? Like parades and maybe some type of shows.
Oh, okay. So if they have I don't know what they would call that, like a goodwill division almost.
It
to
could be,
bring the
yeah.
community-
And I'm thinking big events where downtown Main Street could be closed down. They would have the police. I mean, New York City has them.
They do, because they kind of patrol around Central Park a lot as well.
And then you'll see them up into the city sometimes, too, outside of Central Park.
Huh.
And so I don't doubt that they have them. There's a reason for them.
Well, they're gorgeous, but maybe not be on the interstate from now on.
Just got an open mic in. This is from the My HISRadio app. If you don't have the app, download it today. It's for free. You can do that on Google Play and the App Store. Now, here's the open mic that came in.
My husband and I were driving with the kids on a vacation, and we were going home. We lived in northern Minnesota, and they had to shut down I-35, which goes from like Kansas City, Missouri, up into Minneapolis and above. Well, they had to shut that baby down both sides because of a semi hauling bees got hit. So there were bees everywhere.
Oh, no. And if people are allergic and the bees get into the cars through the vents and stuff, wow.
I hope it was a really small truck.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Thanksgiving, we baste our turkey. Like while it's cooking, you take the little thing and...
You do realize what time of the year it is.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I do. But I need to have an example about basting, what basting is, and that's
that
the best
little
one.
big thing.
Yeah, the little... I don't know
Okay.
what that's called. I have no technical terms.
I thought it was called a baster.
It may be. I just call it
I
the...
don't cook. I burn toast. So the little
Yes.
thing.
So you can baste the turkey.
Big
There is
syringe.
Yeah, the dermatologist in New York, her name is Shireen. She says we should be basting our face.
With turkey stuff?
Not with turkey juice, no, because that would bring about salmonella, but diaper rash cream.
Ew.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And
Wait, you put this on your face?
Yes. She said it's going to lock in the hydration. She does this in front of her husband. Her husband's kind of like, ugh.
So why do you use a baster
So
thing?
it's zinc. No, you don't use the baster. I was just saying we baste our turkey. Why did I get so southern there? We baste our turkey.
All I see is that she's putting it in this
No,
thing.
no, it would never
and then
come out. It
yeah.
would never come out because it's too thick. So we're supposed to put it on our face instead of moisturizer.
Diaper rash cream?
Yes, diaper rash cream. It makes sense because you put it on a baby's booty so that they don't get chafed, so they don't get a rash, right?
Okay.
And so when it's this cold, you know, our faces get chapped and all, especially like the little apples of your cheeks. And so they say put the diaper rash cream. She says, not they. She says to put it on your face.
And it does what?
And it locks in the hydration, the water that's already naturally in your body. It's going to keep it. And I'm thinking, because I have some family members that deal with a little bit of eczema, and I think diaper rash cream might work for that as well.
What does it smell like?
Well, I don't think it's scented because that would harm little baby's tushy.
Okay.
So, you know, you put it on your face and it should be good. And here's the thing, diaper rash cream, even the best, probably $10 to $15 a tube. Moisturizer?
What?
$150 for a little thing.
Really?
If you get the real, you know, the brand name.
Where you shop? That sounds expensive.
Ulta?
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
So we're learning, and I feel bad for Liz that she's not a fan of Pringles. Well, the stuff that's flavored.
I like the salt and vinegar.
That's about it. And the rest of it, she's like, no. And it's one of those gag reflux things where, like Scott, he's all over the flavors when it comes to Pringles.
I love them. I like the pizza. I like the sour cream and onion, the cheesy ones. There's so many to choose from.
And they're bringing back one. What was it again? I forgot.
Honey mustard,
Oh,
which
that's it.
That sounds
I'm not a big fan
terrible.
of, but apparently a lot of people are.
I like honey mustard, but I don't think it can translate
What do you
to
translate?
the chip. And the regular ones, you eat them and it's like you have a film on your tongue
Okay,
the
so
rest of your life.
an open mic just came in. This is from the My HISRadio app.
Hearing you guys talk about Pringles, my dad worked at the factory that made Pringles, the only factory in North America that makes Pringles, which is in Jackson, Tennessee. He retired from the company. It used to be owned by Procter & Gamble, now it's Kellogg's. But talking about flavors, I have had more than my fair share of very odd flavors over the years when he worked there. And I will say honey mustard is not the most odd one.
Okay. I'm sure there's other odd ones.
I wonder what they are.
And listen, to have your dad work at one of the finest establishments in North America, at a Pringles factory.
My daddy worked for a chip company,
And, oh, no. Which one?
Terry's.
Is that the one with the big cans?
Yes. And then they had the cheese puffs. That's what I remember.
Oh, no,
and we
cheese
could go in
puffs.
at night. This explains so much in my life. We could go in at night and grab whatever we wanted, but we could not grab the peanuts or the Slim Jims because it was a separate company and they just sort of helped, you know, distribute them.
Okay.
And so I always, what I remember getting the cheese puffs.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I don't know if you noticed these road signs that are around. You know, the big ones that have these little dots for the words, and it tells you that there's construction up ahead. There's one in Spokane, Washington that a lot of people had to read carefully and then do the following. They had to make sure that they were on the lookout because up ahead of this road sign, the digital road sign, it was warning them that there are angry raccoons ahead as they're driving into the city. Angry raccoons ahead on the sign. So they were warned so that they would not run into the angry raccoons ahead in Spokane.
If I were driving down the road, I would think maybe there were some rabid raccoons and this was a real thing. And I'd be on the lookout. I'd be like Velma from Scooby-Doo. I'd be looking.
Yeah, and as you can tell, as Liz is alluding, somebody did hack the sign.
Yeah.
And put angry raccoons ahead. I think Scott has seen a hacked sign.
I love seeing hacked signs. I just think they're funny. One of my favorites was a sign, and it may not be a hack, but it says sign not in use. But the sign was in use because it said sign not in use.
It was
I just found that funny.
It is kind of fun.
And that's one of those that's kind of subtle because you read it and you're like, okay, wait, what?
What do you mean it's not in use?
What?
Now, while Scott says he likes hacked signs and it makes him laugh, we would not recommend anybody do that because you would be in trouble by the law.
Yeah, because they went in the back of the sign itself and somehow reprogrammed
I'm
it,
sure
I guess.
Wi-Fi or whatever, those things got to be digitally, taken care of. I'm sure there's a cell signal in that where they could go into the sign and be at any office and change the messaging.
But at least I will say, even though they did the wrong thing, at least it wasn't like a bad thing they said. Because that could have happened.
Yeah, it could have been filthy.
Yeah,
You're right.
Right. But I immediately thought of the Angry Beavers cartoon show that I used to watch with my kid. So, angry raccoons.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Paley just found out that her grandmother has been doing something for the past 18 years, and it just touched her heart, and so she went on her social media and she was kind of sharing what Grandma did. See, Paley, when she was 3-4 years old, she called her grandma, I guess for the very first time, and left a voicemail. And her grandma still to this day has a landline, and Paley's been calling her grandma ever since and just leaving her little voicemails. Grandma's kept every single one of them.
Isn't that great? And she's got a throwback phone. It looks like it goes back to, I don't know, the early 90s?
Yeah, it's like
at
a
least?
speakerphone, so she could walk away from the, the base of it or whatever.
That's not a speakerphone. That's the speaker of the answering machine.
Right, but I think on the phone itself, you can hit speaker and it'll come through there. That's what I would call it, as a speaker type phone. But anyway, so it sits in the base to charge it, but it also keeps track of how many voicemails she has.
And here's one of them. I think this is her very first voicemail to Grandma.
18 old messages.
It's me, Grandma. Me, Paley. And believe it, I just got a new scooter, and it's pretty. I love it. Hi, it's me. I'm Paley. I thought you would just like to, my mom's going up. If you're up, Grandma, I thought maybe you could come over and watch G-Force with me. You can come over if you want, okay?
So you're hearing her get older and older. Here's one when she's a teenager.
Hey, it's Paley. I'm almost 15, and I wanted to leave a voice message for you. By the way, Grandma, sorry for being a terrible, terrible kid for 15 years. Well, I got the job. I got the job on the spot. Yeah, I just had an interview and at Subway, and I just got the job. So I'm just really happy.
And she's 18 now.
And I love that she called her grandma and said, I'm sorry for being such a bad kid. And I'm sure she was not. She probably had her moments like we all do. And I bet grandma just listens to them every now and then. And
you know it.
Just has a good cry.
Yeah.
Because it's so sweet and that she's been able to keep those memories.
And how quickly that time goes by.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Rob and Liz in the morning. This is His Radio. It had been a pretty cold winter, although we didn't see a ton of snow around here, except for the high elevation of the mountains, and that's about it in the Carolinas and Georgia. It was cold, and here's one thing about school buses. If they're not diesel, it's hard for them to start.
Yeah.
in the cold weather,
That's
right?
regular cars, too, sometimes, if it gets cold enough.
So they started comparing electric school buses, the EV buses, and the diesel school buses. And in Colorado, where it got below 30, the diesels would not start, but the electric ones would.
Right. Yeah, and this is one town, Kremling, and it's super cold. It's like the coldest city or town in Colorado. And so it was a perfect way to test these school buses, and they found the EVs did better.
The crazy thing is that there are some of the electric cars that don't start in the cold too easily.
Sure. It was 30 below zero.
But for the buses to start up is crazy.
Yeah. But, the EVs, they were actually surprised that the EVs did better than diesel. But, because it saves them, obviously, on gas. And now they're thinking, is this the way we go with it?
Yeah, and it's more so just to start the thing up when it's really super cold. So it was good that they were able to do that.
Yeah, I'm glad. I think they're going to be investing in electric cars maybe a little more often.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
It's Rob and Lizz in the morning on his radio.
Yeah, Anna reached out and said, I feel like I've heard you talk about cows, and I think you need one of these in your life. And she sent a video, and it is a fluffy cow, like a furry cow. I have no idea what type of cow this is. It has a tail almost like a golden doodle. It has furry ears. I'm gonna need one
It's
of
white.
these.
It's pure white. I think it's a Southhorn.
A Southhorn?
Yeah.
Where do they
There's
have
different
these?
breeds of cows, and I think that's a Southhorn.
Well, I want me one of those Highland cows, one of those little ones, and they have the bangs that are covering one eye. It's just so cute. Like, it's so cute.
This is like the one that she shared, and we'll show it to you on His Radio TV so you can have some kind of perspective, which you can get on Apple TV, Roku, HisRadio.com, and the My His Radio app. But it's an English breed.
So I got to go to England?
This Southhorn is an English breed.
This story just keeps getting better. I got to go to England to find one of these cows.
And they are kind of fluffy. I don't want to say like a poodle, but it's kind of. It's kind of
like a
without
velvet
a perm.
couch. Like a velvet couch.
That's a good way to describe it.
Except the ears are really fluffy. Like real, like it just looks.
Liz wants to just go hug one.
You snuzzle and just, I love you.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
So you've got some library fines, and they're starting to stack up, and you get to that point, and I've been there in my life where you're like, oh my goodness, I owe $12 or whatever. I don't want to go back. I don't want to pay this. I don't want to let them know that they're late. And you just don't want to pay the fine. Well, at the one library, Worcester Library, I think this is in Maine, they said, just show us pictures of your cats, and we'll forgive all the fines that you've racked up.
What?
They're calling it March Meowness. Not Madness, March Meowness. Felines for free forgiveness. And so if you have, it doesn't matter if you have $1 in late fees at the library or if you have $1,000 in late fees, you show up, you show them the pictures of your kitty cats, and you get it completely expunged. You get them wiped off.
That's that simple,
It's that simple.
Well, I don't have cats.
That's the
Nor
thing.
do I ever go to the library anymore.
No, well, you can rent them online.
You can rent cats online?
No, you can. Well, you probably could.